step, which is adding the gravel and then the water to the aquarium. Before you do anything, you have to make sure that your aquarium is centered on the part where you want it. Once you start adding the gravel and the water, it's there until the end of May. So make sure that it's straight on here. Make sure that you're happy with the way it sits. This particular trolley has got a drain pipe on the back. So if and some of the newer ones don't, but if yours does, that drain pipe is there so that if something ever happened to the aquarium and it got broken, water came out, it would go down the drain pipe before it would go over the edges. And that, if you've got a drain pipe, have a pail, and that's where your pail will always sit. So between the water here and the water in that pail, that will hold 2/3 of the water basically that's in here. So depending on where it's cracked, that'll eliminate a lot of the mess, and so that's there. Okay, so adding your gravel is next. Your gravel should come in a little orange pail like this. It's pea gravel, and thank you to the Dunlay Catchery guys. They've cleaned this for us. So putting this in, just dump it in. And it's important to make sure that it's nice and level in there and that all your cracks are filled up. I'm not going to stress too much about that right now because I know once we add the water, it sort of makes pits in the gravel, and so we'll have to redo this again. So again, I like having the gravel in the front and not the white filter. So that's why you push that white filter back. And make sure that all these little holes are covered in, because that's what baby salmon look for, and that's where they hide. So, okay, it's looking good. Okay, so this is centered on the trolley. It's where I want it to be. It'll be there for the whole year. Okay, and the next thing, the one thing that I need to do before we get too far into adding water is I need to put this foam filter. You're given 2 filters. And your second filter, first one is in the basket already. The second one, I'm going to put a hole in the top, and then I'm going to slide it onto this tube, this intake tube. If I don't do that, there's little holes where the water is going to go through the filter basket, but these holes are big enough that if you've got a fish swimming by, and it could easily get sucked into that. So I just put my scissors in and just cut usually about 2/3, 3/4 of the way down into the filter. Just a little slit in there, and then you can slide that in. If you do it after the water's in, not a big deal, just saves you a little bit of arm wetness by doing it now. Okay, so there we are. We're ready for the water now.